Towards the end of 2020, laser mining received a significant nerf by a massive reduction in material prices. So in order to compensate for this, we just have to mine even more. So in this two-part video, I'm going to show you how you can mine over 650 tons of Painite per hour. We've all tried it. You're sitting down for a nice, relaxing mining trip. You undock, you get to the build, and you forgot your limpets. Presenting the Remember Your Limpets mark from the Down to Earth store. With this mark, you'll have a nice bright sign right in your face, reminding you to restock your limpets. Check out this and many other products at d2astore.com. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous with Down to Earth Astronomy. It is once again time for a mining guide, and this time it's gonna be a two-part video. I'm going to show you how we can combine two different optimizations for mining to get a yield of over 650 tons per hour. I'll be splitting up the two different methods in two different videos, and next time we're going to be talking about map mining and how we can run mining maps in order to always go from high yield rock to high yield rock, always know where they are, so you don't have to spend time or waste time prospecting. But today we're going to be talking about rest site mining. That means mining in resource extraction sites. These are often used for PvE combat, but they are actually intended for mining. So while rest site mining doesn't mean there are more high value rocks or the rocks that you find have a higher percentage, it does mean you get more fragments out of each rock. But of course this comes at a drawback, and that is the fact that of course there will be pirates spawning in here, and if a pirate flies up to you and scan you and they see your cargo hold full of valuable ore, they are going to attack you and they're going to try to hatch break you and they're going to try to steal your loot. And therefore we have of course to protect ourselves, so there is an added risk. So let's talk about the bonuses that you get when mining in a rest site. First of all, we're going to have a baseline if you're mining outside of a rest site, and we're going to call that a 0% bonus. That's our baseline. Going into a low rest site, you're going to get 25% bonus. A regular one is 50%, a high res is 75%, and a hash res is doubled at plus 100% bonus to the number of fragments you gain from a rock. So how big are these rest sites? There is obviously no visual indications in game, so when you're mining you have to keep a track of this yourself. The bonus in the rest site extends out to 20 kilometers from the center of the site, so keep that little center beacon targeted so you can always make sure that you don't strafe outside the 20-kilometer range. Now, to my knowledge, it's a little counterintuitive, but the way it is calculated is actually not based on the rock position, but based on your ship's position. That means if you have a rock sitting right at the edge, or maybe even right outside the edge of that 20-kilometer range, if you are sitting inside the 20-kilometer range and mining a rock outside the 20-kilometer range, you are getting the bonus. But similarly, if you're sitting outside the range and are mining a rock inside, you're not getting the bonus. So it is based on ship position and not rock position. So if you are mining right on the edge of that bonus, then do keep that distance in mind, because it might actually be worth for you just to spend 30 seconds to fly up to the other side of the rock so you get in range. And now some of you may think, what about mining lances? They have a 2-kilometer range. Won't that extend the number of rocks you can then mine by keeping yourself inside a 20-kilometer radius? You're absolutely right, it would. However, I think you're better off sticking with the medium-sized lasers if you can fit them, simply because the speed at which you're collecting materials is going to be much faster with them. But of course, all this does come with a drawback, and that is of course the pirates, as we talked about. You can avoid a lot of the pirates by staying out at the 15 to 20 kilometer mark from the center of the site. It's a very simple mathematical proof that if you have pirates spawning at a random location and they're going to fly to a random other ship in that field within a circle, they are going to gravitate towards the center, and there's going to be more ships located there than out of the edge. So therefore, if you stay out from 15 to 20 kilometers, you're going to see significantly less pirates than you otherwise would if you're mining in close to the center. So my recommendation is to always keep your rest site either on your right or your left side and then fly around at a clockwise, anti-clockwise around it. This does mean you have to be very careful when you're mining. You need to always make sure you know which way is up. Sometimes you can't, maybe you can find a nebula that's above you or something that indicates which way is up for you. So if you are gonna go rest site mining, there's a few extra modules that I do recommend you fit that you normally wouldn't need if you were playing in just a hotspot outside a rest site where no pirates are gonna spawn after you've taken out the initial wave. Fitting some weapons is a good idea. In many situations you're gonna have spare hard points available on your mining ships, so fitting a few weapons there can be a really good option. A way that I really like to deal with it is to fit a fighter hangar and then bring a fighter. These are really good for these kind of scenarios. It's very rare that I've encountered ships that would be so big that I couldn't deal with them just by launching the fighter. In many situations they're gonna be flying around in like smaller ships, vultures, cobras, those kind of things, and a fighter is more than capable of dealing with these kind of ships. And if you're thinking, oh, if you're gonna have a fighter pilot, they're gonna take part of your money, what you can do if you don't want to have a fighter pilot, don't want to train them up, you can just hire an expert fighter pilot. I think they cost like 15,000 credits to hire them. Take them with you out, and when you come back, you fire them again. You do that before you sell your materials. But other than that, a very, very important motto is that you fit at least 1 point defense, because these pirates, when they attack, they're gonna try to hatch break you, and if they get a successful hatch break off, you're gonna begin losing cargo, and we don't want to lose cargo because that means we're losing money. So you have to fit some kind of point defense and make sure that the point defense is fitted on the underside of your ship. Your point defense is going to be completely useless if you put it on top, because they're going to launch a hatch breaker and it's going to fly to the belly of your ship towards your cargo hatch, and your point defense is on the top. It can't do anything, it can't hit the limpet. This type of mining benefits massively from flying in a wing. Not only does everybody get the same number of fragments, so if you fly up to a rock and you were flying in solo, and let's say you would get 50 fragments out of that rock. If you're flying 2 people at a wing, you're both gonna get 50 fragments out of that rock, meaning you're now suddenly getting, in total, as a wing, 100 fragments from that rock. So you're not losing anything. Actually, you're gonna have an easier time having people help you prospect and help you find the next rock. So you're gonna be able to prospect faster, you're getting the same materials, and you will have extra firepower if pirates comes, meaning you have more security. It comes without saying that, of course, you should also consider fitting some decent shields on your ship. I like to go overboard with my shields, meaning that if I'm in the middle of mining a rock, I'm just gonna go, you know what, I'm just gonna finish mining this rock, then I'm gonna deal with the pirates afterwards, because I have such a large hit point pool that I just don't care about it. I've done an alternate version of my gold digger build that is designed for hotspot mining. That's more like tailored towards this type of mining, that we're gonna be a little bit more combat built into it. And I will do a build guide on this later on down the road, so do stay tuned to the channel if you want to have that updated build for this specifically. So this was some tips and tricks of how to mine in a resource extraction site, but this alone is not going to push us up to those 650 tons per hour. For that, we will need to add map mining on top of it, so we're going to be doing map mining in resource extraction sites. Combining those two is what's going to push us up to those high numbers. And I'll show you everything you need to know, where you're going to find your maps, how you run a map efficiently, and how much you can make. I'm going to show you a trial run of it there as well. That'll be in a future video, so do stay tuned to the channel. Go down and hit the subscribe button so you know when this video is out. Also, if you enjoy these kind of guides, then while you're down there, do hit the like button as well. Thanks for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, I'll see you guys in space.